Right then, we're back. Very, very quick turnaround from sacking Dean Smith to getting the new fella in. The new manager of Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard. It's an interesting one. I'm joined by Simon. Simon, how are we this fine Thursday morning, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. Not too bad.
Steven Gerrard then, how are we feeling? It came out the blue, sort of, like, there was a lot of names, sort of, if you watched the video when we talked about Dean Smith, there was a lot of names, we were like, oh, there's no real obvious candidate. And then Steven Gerrard in the last 24, 48 hours has really become the strong candidate. He was appointed this morning, spotted in London yesterday. How are we feeling then? How are we feeling? It's a massive appointment.
I think from the club's point of view, I think he was obviously the number one target, and while I'm sure they did plenty of due diligence and sort of went through a process, I think that Gerrard was their number one target from the outset, and that's why it's been such a quick appointment. And I reckon they probably already had a feeling that he would have been interested in the job as well. So that's probably why it's been wrapped up so quick. In regards to him being appointed, I think it's a hard one. I can't sit here and say it's a brilliant appointment. I don't think it's a bad appointment either. I think from the candidates that are out there, I think he's probably about the best one out there. But there's so many unknowns. Obviously, he's only had the one job at Rangers, and while he's done a good job there, it's hard to quantify it. Obviously, because it's the SPL. No, no sort of disrespect to the teams in Scotland, but it's a totally different kettle of fish up there. So it's a hard one. It's not like you can look at it and think, oh, he'll definitely do a great job or he'll definitely do a bad job. It's a sort of wait and see one, but it's exciting, I suppose. He's a young up and coming manager. He's done fairly well for Rangers, and he's a household name.
Yeah, it's really, like you said, it's hard to sort of, is it good, is it bad? It's really hard, because I think in terms of Rangers, he went there, like you said, he was an unknown. And he's gone in. He's done a good job on the face of it. I think there's been a lot of stick towards Danny Murphy on social media the last couple of days, because he's been saying, is Villa a step up from Rangers? For me, it absolutely is. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Rangers or Celtic. They are both massive clubs. But any job in the Premier League is a step up, just because that Premier League is so much better than the SPL, like in terms of the competitiveness of it. Obviously, he's done incredibly well to stop Celtic winning 10 in a row in Scotland, and he's turned Rangers around in terms of stopping them conceding goals after goal after goal after goal. He's made them better defensively. I can't claim to have watched loads of Rangers, so I'm not massively clued up on how he sets up and what he's actually changed there. But on the face of it, he's stopped them conceding goals, he's organised them, and he's made them better to watch, which is exactly what we need at the moment at Villa. There's been a lot of stick towards me on social media because of what's happened. Rangers fans aren't happy. What are your thoughts on that? Because is it a step up? For me, it absolutely is, like I mentioned, but Rangers fans aren't happy. He's left them in the middle of a title, sort of, they're going for the title. He's left them there. It's a step up, isn't it? I think Steven Gerrard it's a massive opportunity at Aston Villa. A lot of people are saying it's one of the best vacancies out there. We've got backing, we've got money, we've got a very, very good squad. We've got players there who Dean Smith couldn't quite get the best of at the start of the season. Bailey, he's ready to go. Buendia, he's getting there. I think it's a really exciting time for Steven Gerrard, and I think he's going to be really excited with the prospect of being, given charge of these players.
Yeah, I think from a Rangers fan point of view, I can understand their point of view. I think they are a big club. Obviously, they are a really big club, and obviously them being in the SPL, it's their home sort of thing, and so they'll do anything to sort of defend them playing in that league. However, for a manager to be at Rangers, you haven't got a massive budget up there. The TV money isn't like it is down in the Premier League, and so there isn't a lot of money up there. If a club like Villa comes along and says, here you go, here's a 3.5-year contract, here's all the money you could wish for in the world, at a Premier League club who at the moment, yeah, we're 15th, 16th in the table, but are we really in a relegation battle? I think that's what I've seen online in the last few days. Rangers fans talking about, why would he leave to go to a relegation battle at Villa? But with Villa's squad and the money they've spent and the money that will be given to Steven Gerrard, you can't see Villa being in a relegation battle. And I think you look at the players we've got, and I think he'll fancy his chances. I think he's got a big job on his hands, though. I really do. I think looking back at the summer's recruitment, it's still a little bit confusing as to what we were actually trying to do. Obviously, we brought Danny Ings in because we needed a second striker, but the problem with buying one like Danny Ings is that he demands to be playing sort of every week. And it'll be interesting to see what he does, because Gerrard likes a 4-2-3-1 formation or a 4-3-3. And so it'd be interesting again how he fits these players in the team. And also you're looking at people like Bailey and Buendia, as you mentioned. Bailey's shown flashes of brilliance, and Buendia's, it's been a bit of a slow burner, but he's not looked too bad in the last couple of games. And so I think he'll fancy his chances at being successful at Villa, but I do think he's got a job on his hands as well. I think he'll probably be looking at January to see where he can improve again. I think you're looking at our midfield, and with Gerrard being a midfielder, I'm sure he'll see where the problems lie straight away. And so I think he'll fancy his chances. He was always going to come he was always going to come to Villa, and that's no disrespect to Rangers. It's not me saying that Villa are even a bigger club than Rangers. I'm not even saying that. I just think that in the league that we're playing in, with the money and with the managers he can test himself against, and the players he can work with, it is a step up, and that's just how it is. And it's unfortunate for Celtic and Rangers. It is unfortunate because they are big clubs, but it's just unfortunate in terms of what league they are playing in, because it's a 2-horse race every season. And the quality is just not there, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really, really exciting prospect for Gerrard himself. I think if he stayed at Rangers, I think he's turned down Newcastle in the past. If he turned down Villa, is he really going to get a better job opportunity in the next sort of 5 years? For me, probably not. I think, not to big it up or get too big-headed, but this Villa job at the current time is so massive, and I think it's there's so much potential at this club with the academy, from the academy straight through to the first team. We've spent loads of money, we've got backing from the owners. You're just not quite going to get that at Rangers, like you said. I'm not saying Villa are a bigger club than Rangers, but this whole project I think is so much bigger and so much more exciting for an up-and-coming manager like Steven Gerrard. He's going to take it, there's no doubt about that. But in terms of, what is he going to bring to Aston Villa, I think it's really, really exciting. Him being one of the best midfielders the Premier League has ever seen, that's so exciting, because one of our main issues this season has been the midfield, like you touched on. And if you're John McGinn and you see Steven Gerrard come in as your new gaffer, you're going to be absolutely buzzing. I think if anyone's going to get the best out of this shoddy midfield we've had this season, it's going to be him. And it's a really exciting time, and I think he's a manager who doesn't take any shit either, to be honest. And if for example, El Ghazi at Southampton away, committing silly fouls, should have been sent off, diving all over the place. Steven Gerrard gets him in at half-time, absolutely no shit. He's going to absolutely batter these players. And I think when Dean Smith was at Villa, he got criticised a couple of times saying, he's a little bit too nice, etc. Is he really going to make these tactical decisions during the game and change something and be a little bit forceful? But Steven Gerrard's that man, in my opinion. You can just tell by sort of clips that I've already seen of him talking on podcasts and things that he said in the past. He's going to take absolutely no nonsense, and I think that's going to give a lot of players a rocket up their arse. It's going to give them a kick and just say, sort yourselves out. We're a big club here. We do not deserve to be down where we are. And it's an exciting time. I think I said in the Dean Smith video that, is Steven Gerrard the man who's going to come in and change it? Probably not, but now he's here. Obviously, it's easy to say, he's the man, it's exciting, but I think it is, that Brighton game is massive. I think if we get a decent result there, it could be the start of something decent, but I think all in all, it's just exciting, isn't it, really? That's my overriding emotion at the moment.
Yeah, and I think he's a winner, isn't he? He's a winner in his whole career. He's won so many trophies, and he's got this big sort of like name, and he's quite a figurehead. And so walking into that dressing room on day one, he'll instantly command the respect of the players. And you look at the likes of, you mentioned McGinn, but you also think about like the youngsters like Carney and Jacob Ramsey and even Aaron Ramsey. Like those young lads will look and think, oh my God, we get to work alongside a player who's been one of England's best midfielders of all time, and captain Liverpool for all them years, winning Champions Leagues and all these trophies. And so instantly commands that respect. And I mean, sometimes I'm a little bit concerned about when top players become coaches and managers, and I think it's because sometimes they're so good they can't handle working with players that aren't as good as them. And I look back a lot when Roy Keane was Villa assistant manager. Brilliant player, but I always said Roy Keane was never cut out to be a manager or a coach, and it's because he couldn't quite work out that not everyone was going to be as good as he is. The good thing with Gerrard, though, is that he sort of cut his teeth in a youth team role at Liverpool, so straight away he wasn't working with absolutely incredible footballers, and then he's gone up to Rangers and he's had to work alongside sort of SPL level footballers or like English sort of Championship level footballers, and so he's got that experience there already, and so I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think all in all, he was probably the best appointment Villa could make. I was a little bit concerned about some of the other ones being mentioned. The Danish head coach sort of worried me because his club record isn't great. Roberto Martinez done okay for Belgium, but they're they've got incredible players. Really, they probably should have won a trophy by now. Didn't do that great at Everton. And then after that, you're sort of struggling for names. And so I think with the limited candidates that were on offer, I think Villa have got probably the best man for the job, and yeah, it's an exciting time again. Obviously, losing 5 games in the Premier League is never great, but I think you have to look past that. I think we've got a good squad. We've spent a lot of money. The owners are still investing. They will spend more money, and let's just hope we get off to a good start, because I think it will set us up nicely. I think the last thing we want to do is go into the first game against Brighton and lose, because it sort of turns negative again a little bit. Let's just hope we can get the win and we can sort of kick on and try and strive for that top half of the table.
Yeah, definitely. I think going back to it, he's definitely going to command the respect. Like, if you see someone like Steven Gerrard come into your club as a player, it's going to be incredible for you. Like, especially for the youngsters as well. Carney, there's been talk about him not signing a new contract, etc. All this silly business, but Steven Gerrard, do you know what I mean? It's incredible. So what we feeling this season then? What do you think the owners have said to Steven Gerrard in terms of, right, what's the objective now for this immediate season? Because I think if it's sort of, just stay up, you might as well have just kept Dean Smith. I don't really get that. I think, what do you think? Do you consolidate this season, and then what is the aim? Europe next season? Because I think that is a massive job to get Europe next season. I don't know what's going to happen in January. I don't know what's going to happen next summer in terms of the different players coming in. But what's the objective for Steven Gerrard? What do you think Christian Purslow and the owners have said to him? I think personally, it's 12th this season. Try and get out of this relegation hoodoo as soon as possible. Just get rid of that, put that behind you, and then sort of consolidate, and then go again next season. Get some of your own players in and go again. What do you think?
I think the board and Dean Smith's ambitions were a little bit not sort of matched by each other. I think Dean expected us just to improve on last season, which would be like a top half finish. I think the owners were asking for a little bit more than that, and I think they were, at the start of the season, they were thinking, we need to compete for Europe again. I think that's changed a little bit because of obviously the circumstances with a new manager and the bad run of form we've been on. I think his immediate priority is arresting the slide. Obviously, he's trying to put some wins on the board, trying to get a few wins, in a sequence together, so we can sort of shoot up that league, because 3 or 4 wins takes you back into 7th, 8th in the league, sort of thing. Yeah. And I think that's what's key. And so to me, I think the owners would be saying, arrest the slide. We'll give you some money in January to improve if you need to, and let's hope we can get a top 10 finish. I think that's what the owners would probably be saying, and then going forward from there, I think the owners do expect Europe, and I think with the money they put in, it's I know we took 100 million in for Grealish, but we spent a lot of money, and so I think the owners will be justified in expecting Europe, and so I don't think that'll happen this season. I think they'll consolidate this season, finish in the top. If they can finish in the top 10, that'd be brilliant. But similar to last season, I would have thought, and then sort of try and kick on again next season. But yeah, I think the owners are ambitious, and I think they'll keep going. I don't know if there's any doubt about it. He'll be backed. He'll be backed right to the very end. And let's just hope it works, because obviously it's been disappointing this season after having a decent season last year. The start to this season's been really disappointing. And you can see why the owners have been disappointed. And while we all love Dean Smith, I think we all realised it wasn't good enough, and I don't think any of us were that surprised that the decision was taken to change the manager. So fingers crossed, but I think the aim will be top 10.
Yeah, I think they've definitely got Gerrard in with sort of Europe in mind, because we've seen on social media people have been tweeting like his results in Europe, and I think me and you gone to go and watch Rangers in Europe, haven't we? And he's got some brilliant results, to be fair. He's working with a squad there that, let's face it, it's nowhere near the quality in terms of the players. They're nowhere near Villa, and he's got some incredible results. He goes away from home, beats Lille, I think they've beaten Galatasaray, Braga, beaten Porto in recent years as well. They're big sides. So look, if we do get into Europe, massive, huge chance, I know, but like in the next couple of years, Gerrard could be the man that, look, he's been there, done it. Dean Smith hasn't. So it's a difficult one. The thing is, it's a massive unknown, isn't it? It's such a huge unknown, but it's still exciting. And like you touched on, we need to get off to a really, really good start at Brighton. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Simon, for coming on as well. Always really insightful, top man. If you have enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Let us know your thoughts on Steven Gerrard coming in to be the new head coach at Aston Villa. That's so bizarre to say, isn't it? It's just weird. It's like we're playing Football Manager or something like 10 years ago. But happy days. If you have enjoyed the video, subscribe, like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Up the Villa.